I knew God was with it. I always used to pray. Uh, my prayer was I asked God to not to let the devil kill me out here while I was in the streets before I could get back. And I said, if you give me one more chance at life and music, I promise you, I'm gonna shout you out and I'm gonna justify it. We're gonna have a little church over there. Waking up, thanking God. Every day is feeling just so like Sunday. Working fine on the side. Real everything is going my way. Green, make a million sleeps. Just like the power and I'm feeling like glass. Heard him say, give him praise. Just in the water, got you like this. Oh, I don't try. I ain't done it all. And if you wonder why I'm loving like I was saying, I gave you myself. This has me on you and I'm next. Yes, yeah. Living everything I know. Just love. Face I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yes, me on you and I'm blessed. Yes, living everything I know. Being friends. So face I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. After love, barbecue and waking up, oh, music loud, turning loud. Little kids are breaking out. Life is good, pretty good. And every moment, no, I can't. I gotta stand. I won't change. You're the reason that I am. I can't seem to take one back. I don't try. Thank the Lord up above. And if you wonder why I'm loving life, come close and I'll tell you what's up. This ass me on you and I'm blessed. Yes, yeah. Living to the game I know. I'm like, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yes, sweet, I'm going up the list. Yes, living to the game I know. Be blessed. So I'm like, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank God for another day. But it ain't no making fun away. I know it's trouble all around trying to tear us all down. But I got a thing going every day. But know the devil working day and night. So when I look him in the eyes, say you a day alive. I could have died. I'm still around because I hear word I'm coming now. And now I'm on the only time. Yeah, I'm guessing for you. I be stressing out, but that's a kind of and when it do through our party and it concept. Just take some time to think of what it got. When the party you run with going to nigga, kind of trying to get you to do something. You been up all of them guys, but I declare so much power in the prayer. You had no power in it. God is all I Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How's everybody doing this afternoon? This is the Most High. This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it this morning. Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. What's up, my brother Greg? A lot of y'all may not be able to hear that music. I forgot. YouTube don't let me play circular music on music that has been copyrighted on YouTube. So when you hear that music, like today I play I'm Blessed by Charlie Wilson. So if you didn't get to understand the whole song, you got to go listen to Charlie Wilson. I'm gonna try to find another song that I can play. Um
on YouTube so that we could be able to um understand what the meaning of the song is talking about, reason why I'm playing it. But the song was "I'm Blessed" by Charlie Wilson. And he said, "I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed." And that's what he's basically talking about. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard that song before. Um, and I'm sure that if you anybody listen to R&B, rhythm and blues, you all know that y'all know who Charlie Wilson is. So if you didn't understand the music and you was listening to it on YouTube, go ahead and Google the song so that you can hear it. But the next time, I'm gonna try to play another song that you don't have to hear it, that I can do it on something else. Okay. But yeah, I hope your week has been a great week. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and peace. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you with wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His Word. I hope the Most High really have truly blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and understanding, and protection and healing with you and your offspring. I really truly hope He has done that for you this week. My week has been a pretty good week. I really truly can't complain too much about my week. It's just always trying to maneuver through the manure, trying to have strategic plans to be successful, because you're not just gonna wake up one morning and think you're gonna be successful. You got to plot and plan on how to be successful. And if you don't plot and plan on how to be successful, you would never be successful. That's something I think we need to understand about our finances, about life and relationships, all of those things. We have to have a strategy to the madness, because we're going to have oppositions. And if we don't have a strategy to relationships, if we don't have a strategy to whatever we got going on in the world, we got to, we got to, we got to be able to, we got to have a strategy. We got to be successful. But let me go ahead and get started this morning on Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And then it reads, "And Ananias spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah the Ananias, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And thou shalt have no other Ananias before me. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah the Ananias, am a jealous Ananias, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah the Ananias in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananias. In it thou shalt not do any works, thou, nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore, if Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, honor thy fathers and thy mothers that day, the days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananias giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adulteries, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house, and thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Let us pray this morning. O creators of the heavens and earth, of our radiance and vibrations, soften the grounds of our beings, and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so we may be empowered to bear fruits of our mission. Let each of our actions bear fruits in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom of produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments. For you are the ground and a fruitful vision, the creator and power and fulfillment, as all together made whole once again. So let it be. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. If you could turn to the book of Genesis, turn to the book of Genesis this afternoon. Turn to the book of Genesis, chapter 30. Genesis, chapter 30. We'll be reading from 25 to 43. And the key verse is going to be verse 30. Okay, the key verse is verse 30. And it reads like this. 30 and 30, it reads like this. For it was little which thou had before I came, and it is now increased a multitude. And Yahuwah has blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for my own house also? Let me read that over. It says, for it was a little which thou had came that had before I came, and it is now increased until I multiply unto a multitude. And Yahuwah has blessed thee since my coming, and now when shall I provide for my own house also? If I maybe get a title of the teachings this morning, the title of the teachings this morning is You Are a Blessing. That's the reason. You are a blessing. You are a blessing. This is going to be a two-part thing because I want us to I want us to understand what's actually going on in the world today. You are a blessing, right? And that's the teachings for today. You are a blessing. Okay. If I may give two words today, two words today is self-reliance or reliance, self-reliance. Reliance is a 16th century word. It means rest or have peace of mind resulting from a full belief of your reality or truth of a person. Meaning your self-reliance is really recognizing who you are and what you are and what you know about yourself. And can't nobody change that about who you are and what you are about yourself. It also means of certainty of facts. It means trust, it means confidence, it means dependence, it means depending on one's own power and abilities, feeling of independence. So when you talk about self-reliance, it means to know who, what you are and your abilities and your powers. Relying on yourself to be able to accomplish the things that, now understand, that, thank you, that you know about yourself. In order for us as a person or people or a nation or ethnicity to be able to be successful in this world of competition, we have to know our powers, we have to know our abilities, we have to know us as individuals in order for us to be successful. We got to know our weaknesses, we got to know our flaws, we got to know our strength. We got to know all those things about us in order for us to be successful. Okay? Prosperity is a 12th century word. It means flourishing or thriving conditions. It means good fortunes, wealth, success in anything. It means success in anything good or desirable. It means advance or gain in anything good or desirable. Success, progress in any business or enterprise. It says success, obtainment of the objects desired. That's what prosperity means. Prosperity means to be able to obtain those things that you want to have. But in order for you to be able to obtain those things that you want to have, you first got to know who you are. You got to know your strength. You got to know your abilities. You got to know your weaknesses. You got to know your capabilities in order for you to be successful, right? And see, I'm getting ready to get started in just a second. Let me read you this one in Deuteronomy chapter 7. I want us to understand this one. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 is, for thou art an holy people until you. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahuwah thy Anani. Yahuwah thy Anani has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that is upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not set his love on you, nor chose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahuwah loved you, understand the reason why he chose you. Because he loved you and because you will keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, has Yahuwah brought you out without a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hands of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay, because Yahuwah loved you, he blessed you more than you can imagine. Okay? And Yahuwah bless you from a natural or from a natural state of being. Meaning that the abilities that you have comes from the Great Spirit, the Most High. It comes from him. The only thing that you have to do is water those abilities that he has given you. And if you don't water those abilities that he haven't given you, you can't show the people that you are a blessed people. But once you have watered your abilities, which is your power, your strength, your weaknesses, all your capabilities, because my wife has the abilities to sing. And if she watered her abilities to sing, who knows where she could go? If she didn't water them, if she did water those abilities, just like her homeopathic business, the more she waters herself with the education, the more powerful she could become because she has the wisdom and knowledge to be able to do so. And see, I was at work this week, right? And it's this young man who I'm trying to mentor at work because I'm working in Macon for a little while. And on my way home from work last night, right? I was talking to my wife about conditions that live in areas like Macon, Forsyth, all Dublin, all those counties, Albany, all those counties like that. The brothers and sisters, Hebrew brothers and sisters in those areas, their spirits have been beaten down because their environment that they are in. Thank you for that, right? Um, because the environment they are in, they are not able to enhance their talents because they're in the environment that they are in, they're being oppressed and suppressed because of other people in those communities. See, what I've learned in dealing with the people in like Macon, and it's not that they don't have the abilities. It's not that they are afraid of people. They are afraid of the judicial systems that back the people that is oppressing them. And see, that's what the issue here is in the United States. It's not that people have power over other people or they're stronger or better than other people. It's just that the judicial system is supporting other people more than they're supporting you and I. The only way that the judicial system is going to support you or I is because it is when we are against each other. But when it comes down to supporting you against other nations of people, it's not going to support you because they know that who you are as a people and as a person. So them supporting you through the judicial system it's going to be very difficult. Just like the Rick Child case in South Carolina. Rick Child has not just harassed and bothered his customers who look like me. He have also deleted one or two of the customers besides the young man who he deleted this week. So me saying that is for you to understand that people are suppressed in their own communities, not just from the physical, but also through the judicial system as well. And that is the biggest issue, the judicial system and not the physical. Okay, let me read you something, right? Because I was talking to this guy yesterday also about vegetables, right? Because I didn't know that this could be. I just Googled, I said, can a vegetable contaminate another vegetables grown in the same area? The answer is yes. In vegetable gardens, one plant can indirectly contaminate or negatively affect another if they are shared the same soil, water, or even environments, especially if they are in the same bed or crop family. And see, I want you to understand something, right? Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry, I didn't mean to be that long, but I apologize, right? Okay, so this is a jalapeno pepper, right? And this is just a regular, I don't know, what kind of pepper is this? Banana. Huh? Banana. This is a banana pepper. This is a jalapeno pepper. And this is a banana pepper, right? I said, they come out your garden. And I'm talking, yes, they came out my garden, right? So I said, can a jalapeno pepper affect this banana pepper if they growing right beside each other? Right? It says yes. In vegetable gardening, one plant can indirectly contaminate or negatively affect another if they share the same soil. Listen to that. Listen to that. If they share the same soil, water, or environment, right? Especially if they are in the same bed or crop family. That's why our banana peppers was hot last year. That is the reason why our banana pepper was hot last year is because it was growing. It was growing in the same bed as the jalapenos, right? So, knowing that now, I have to separate my jalapeno peppers from my banana peppers if I don't want my banana peppers to taste like jalapeno peppers.
And the stronger pepper overpower
And the what?
The stronger pepper overpowers the one that's not hot.
And the thing about it is, this jalapeno pepper overpowered the banana pepper because the jalapeno pepper is much stronger than the banana pepper in flavor. Let that resonate for about a minute. That's why you got to separate the two peppers so that you don't want this pepper to contaminate this pepper. Don't let that go over your head. Because I was just talking about something down there in Macon, Georgia. People are not more powerful, it's just that they had a judicial system to be able to enforce what they want to enforce over people.
That's good.
That is the sad reality that we're living in, right? Because the reason why they use the judicial system to support their ideology, their way of living, and everything about them is because they know that you are a blessed people. And other people are not as blessed as you are. And that's something I think we really have to wrap our heads around. Because looking at Genesis chapter 28, right? I mean, Genesis chapter 30, right? This is talking about Jacob. Jacob living in Laban, living with his uncle Laban. And the reason why he fled and left his brother Esau and his mother is because the simple fact is Isaac blessed Jacob to be a ruler over his brother Esau. And Esau did not like the fact that Jacob supposed to be a ruler over Esau. Esau did not like the fact that Jacob supposed to be a ruler over him. But Esau not realizing that in Genesis chapter 25, verse 22 and 23, it says this, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? Why am I like this? And she went to inquire and pray unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto her, listen to this. 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 nations, 2 characters of people. 2 nations. Esau was red, Jacob was dark skinned. 2 nations of people are in thy womb, and 2 people who have 2 different types of characters or people shall be separated from thy bowels. You got 2 people that came out of one person, but they look totally different. And these same 2 people have 2 different types of personalities and 2 types of character, right? And one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. See, it was already prophesied that Jacob was going to be the ruler over Esau. But Esau would be more stronger than Jacob when it comes down to the mentality. That meaning that Esau is willing to do whatever he think he has to do to get what he needs to get. But Jacob is not in that position, or Jacob don't have that mentality to say, I'm willing to do whatever I got to do to be successful. That is the difference between a jalapeno and a banana. The jalapeno is stronger and it's able to influence the banana because they're in the same soil, they're drinking the same water, they are in the same environment, right? So now they was fighting in the room, they was arguing, they tussling and fighting. One was gonna be see which one's gonna come out first, right? So now Esau came out first, but then one day when Esau went and fought against somebody and killed him, I forgot his name. He deleted him, right? Now Esau sold his birthright. In Genesis chapter 27, let's do that. Go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 28 and 29. Okay, it says this, therefore, now this is the blessing. This is the blessing that, oh, okay, Esau blessed birth. This is, and go down a little bit in verse 25, chapter 25. Okay. Now, this is when Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. Esau came out first, but understanding that Most High already said the elder would serve the younger. So, how would the elder serve the younger? The elder had to serve the youngest when he had to give up his rights to the authority of being the firstborn, right? So, when we go down to verse 30, 31, and 32, listen to this. This is how it all started to fall into play. Esau, verse 30 says, Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, because the pottage was red. He was red, and he got his name because of the porridge, right? And Jacob says, sell me this day thy birthright. Listen to that. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point of death. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. That is also fulfilling biblical prophecy of Esau fallen in the position of being a servant to his brother, because he just then sold his birthright to his brother so that his birthright can be going to Jacob and not Esau. Now that means that now biblical prophecy is starting to fulfill itself. Okay, let's go to Genesis chapter 27, 28 and 29. Now listen to this. This is when his father Isaac is blessing him. All these are confirmations of Yahuwah's word coming into existence. Now, therefore, it says in Genesis chapter 27, 28, it says, therefore, Adonai gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and the plenty of corn and wine. Listen to this part here. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be masters over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. That's Jacob. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. That is the blessing that Isaac gave Jacob, right? He was supposed to be rulers over many people. That's the blessings of Jacob. But the blessings of Esau was to rule by weapons, rule by mass destructions. That was Esau's blessing, right? I can't find it. Let me see that. Esau blessings is in verse 40. It says, and thy sword shall thou live. Listen to that. Sword is also the judicial system. Sword is also the judicial system that brings on punishment, weapons of war, right? And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. Understanding those are blessings. Esau blessings is to rule by judicial power or weapons of war, and Jacob blessing is to rule by spiritual powers. Okay, so now when we go to Genesis chapter 28, because at that point in time Esau hated Jacob, and Jacob had to leave the presence of his home to go live with his uncle Laban. Okay, let us go to 28 and 3 and 4. Because then this is when Jacob got a double blessing. Jacob just didn't get a blessing from his father. Jacob also got a blessing from Yahuwah. Esau never got a blessing from Yahuwah, but Jacob got a blessing from Yahuwah. That's something that we got to look at. And that's in Genesis chapter 28, verse 3 and 4. Because he got a double blessing. His father Isaac blessed him. Now here come Yahuwah in verse 3 and 4. It says, and Anani Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessings of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Yahuwah giveth unto Abraham. That is the second blessing of Jacob. And that is the blessing that Isaac gave him before he left to go to Laban. Right? Now let us go down to verse 13 and 15. Jacob got plenty of blessings from his father. Jacob got plenty of blessings from Yahuwah. Because you got to realize that Jacob blessing comes from Abraham's seed. So he still got to get that blessing that Abraham was promised, which was land. Okay, it says, behold, in Genesis chapter 28, verse 13 through 15, it says, and behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah Anani of Abraham, thy father, the Anani of Isaac, the land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. This is Yahuwah speaking to Jacob. He said, the land that you're in right now, I'm going to give it to you. This is the blessings that Yahuwah told Jacob. And thy seed be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Because Jacob is blessed, the earth will be blessed. Now listen to this one. It says, behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken of thee. So the Most High have really blessed Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Right? So Jacob, as a natural person, is blessed. He's blessed spiritually and physically through the Most High. Esau is only blessed through the physical form, not the spiritual form, but this physical form through weapons in the judicial system. Okay? So now when we go to Genesis chapter 29, verse 15 through 18. And I'm walking this up because I want you to understand everything that we see in reality. Genesis chapter 15, verse 18 through 29. Genesis chapter 29, 15 through 18. Listen to this. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, should thou therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder is Leth, and the name of the younger is Rachel. And Leth was tender-eyed. She didn't look as good as Rachel. And then it says, and Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Okay. So now Jacob is serving his time. Jacob is ready to go because he understood that the Most High had blessed him to be in his own land. He blessed him so that he could be able to do his own thing. And that's something that Jacob had to understand. In order for Jacob to be able to get the promises that Yahuwah told him, Jacob had to leave Laban. But the Most High did not let Jacob, he did not allow Jacob to leave until everything was in order. That's why I say you are blessed, right? You're very blessed, Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel. But this is a two-part series. And the main one I want to talk about is next week, because you are a blessing. But you're a blessing. That is the reason why you're going through the things that you're going through, because people don't want you to go. People want to continue to be a tick on you. They want to continue to suck the blood out of you. The blood represents life. That is the reason why people don't want you to go. That is the reason why you see society in the way you see it today. But I'm finna get ready to get started. Let's go to verse 25, because my first part is you are a blessing. You are anointed people. Okay, let me give you this real fast. Let me give you some examples of how you are anointed. Okay. I Googled inventions, 25 black inventions, right? But we got over several hundred. But the inventions that we created in the time that we created them impacted the whole world, because the world was not on the developmental stage that it is today. Okay. Let me give you 25 inventions that we created. And I want you to understand the time period in which they was made. The fountain pen. The fountain pen, this right here, this here, pen here, is an extension of the fountain pen that was created or invented in 1890. We created the fountain pen. In order for you to write something on a piece of paper that you have today, we created the abilities for you to be able to write that pen in the way that we write on that piece of paper the way that we do today, because we created the fountain pen. Okay. Okay. Every day, whenever somebody's getting ready to go to their car, they're going to a place that they don't even know where they're going. Well, why don't you just GPS it? Why don't you just GPS it, right? A black person created GPS technology. and it was a black woman. She developed it in 1970 through the 1980s. We developed the GPS system. Everybody on every app now has a GPS system now. What's your favorite GPS system? Waze. Waze got their systems from a black woman who started to create the GPS system in 1970s and the 1980s. Everybody used GPS. But who created it? Black woman. Refrigeration. The refrigerator. We created the refrigerator to keep your food cold. And it's a refrigerator in everybody's household. Everybody's being blessed because we are a blessing to every nation of people upon the earth. We created the refrigerator, right? And it was invented in 1891. Understand, when did we supposedly get out of slavery? In 1865, and now we are now creating these things in 1891 and 1890. Think about that. The traffic signal. The traffic signal is in every country on the planet Earth. Every planet on the planet Earth, every country on the planet Earth has a traffic signal. We created that in 1923. The whole world is blessed because we bless. Understand that. Peanut products. Anything that you want to call, anything that you want to name through the peanut products and the agriculture innovations. Peanut butter comes from peanuts. Everything that you want to name that deals with peanuts, we did it. Everybody know who that is. And he invented that in the early 1900s. Okay. Air conditioning and refrigerated transportation trucks. Who invented that? Us. We invented the air conditioning that's in everybody's house on the face of the earth. We invented everybody's house having AC. And it was invented in the 1930s and 1940s. We invented these air conditioning units that could keep your medicine cool, your food cold, and the blood supplies cold. Everything that we did when it comes down to air conditioning, we did it. We did it. The fire escape ladder that's on these fire trucks and even ladders within themselves, probably. We invented it. We invented that. Help people get rescued out of fires. The ladder. We invented it. And it was invented in 1878. We invented that. Railroad communication system was invented in the late 1800s. Every time you want to say, okay, so you got to understand the airplanes came after the railroad system. And we created the first airplane, by the way. We created the first airplane. We was the first inventors of the airplane. Not the Wright brothers, the black people. So now the railroad communication system, we invented it. We invented it. When he say we blessed in the earth, we blessed, and everybody around us will be blessed, is because our inventions that we did. Bottle caps. We created the bottle caps that goes on the caps of the bottles to make sure that all these the sodas would not be spilled all over the place because they didn't have no caps on them. Until we created the most important piece to save the product in the bottle. We improved the toilet commode seat, what goes into everybody's house. The toilet commode would not be what it is today without a brother. The ironing board. We invented the ironing board, which mostly, I say 75% of people who use irons have an ironing board. Every hotel you go to got an ironing board in it. Every hotel that you go to in every room has an ironing board. The lawnmower. We created the lawnmower and everybody extended from that. So everybody that has a lawnmower, probably every homeowner, every business that cut grass has to thank us for creating that lawnmower. People make millions and millions of dollars just off cutting grass. And it all extended from the first person who created the lawnmower. And we was the first people to create the lawnmower. Envelope seals. We created the first envelope seals so the mail will not come out of the mail, so the mail won't come out the envelope while it's going through transition. They had to figure out a way to be able to make sure that the mail wouldn't come out, the letters wouldn't come out the mail when they come going through transit. So some smart person fixed that. Okay. The pencil sharpener. Everybody, when I was in school, everybody had to have a pencil sharpener when they went to school. We created the pencil sharpener. Pressure cooker. We created the pressure cooker. And understand that most of these inventions are right before the 1900s, the 20th century, the late 1800s, early 1900s. Okay? The fire extinguisher is in every building in the United States, every building around the world. Most houses have to have fire extinguishers. Most companies have to have fire extinguishers. Most restaurants, hospitals, hotels have to have fire extinguishers. Who created it? Us. Who created light, the electricity, the light bulb? We did. Elevator door systems. We created it because they first just used to have a little thing that you slide back and forth so that nobody will fall out. So we went to a higher level and made a door for it. The lawn sprinkler. The people where you can just go out there and turn on the system and your water or the water hose will start watering your grass. We did that. We did that. Programmable remote controllers. You can sit now on your TV and use your remote control to be able to change the channels, but who did it? We did. We made your life so much more comfortable in reality. Who's the first person to the helicopter innovation? You see the helicopters that be flying around? We did it. We did it. Mop the floors. Every building has a floor, a mop, a custodian. And every custodian use a mop. We did it. Folding kitchen tables, the guitar, the drums, mailboxes, doorknobs, all these things that we did. That's just 25 or 26 of them. Not even including the light bulb. Not probably including the telephone and the cell phone and the PC computers and medicine. Because you got to understand that Kemet was the home of medicine. Understand that. When the Most High say He blessed you to be creative, to be able to do the things that you need to do. Now, when you look at your reality today, everybody's living off your capabilities. Everybody's living off your capabilities. Genesis chapter 30, verse 25, it says, and it came to pass when Rachel had born Joseph, and Jacob said unto Laban, because Jacob was a servant for Laban for 20 years. And Jacob was tired of living up under Laban's rules, and he was ready to go because he saw that he wasn't able to benefit off his own inventions, his own creations, his own abilities. And Jacob said to Laban, send me away that I may go to my own people, my own place, into my country. Because Laban was an Assyrian, and Jacob was ready to get back to his father Isaac and be with his mother. Because he understood that he wanted to be able to do his own thing in his own place and do his own in the way he wanted to do it. But Laban understood the abilities of Jacob. See, people around you, that's why they are Asian stores in your community, Indian stores in your community, Arab stores in your community, Jamaican stores in your community. What else? Every other nationality stores in your community because they Hispanic stores in your community. That's what they understand the capabilities that you have. But the difference is in this scenario, Jacob understood his. Jacob understood the promise. Jacob knew his blessings. Jacob knew his skills and abilities. Because Jacob, first thing Jacob said, I got to get out of here. I got to get back to my own people and my own place so I can do my own thing. Let us go to Genesis chapter 24, verse 6 and 7. Because Jacob understood it. Jacob knew he had to get back to his place of blessings. He knew that he was in a place where he didn't belong to be. He didn't supposed to be. He was only supposed to be there for a temporary moment. But then after that temporary moment was up, he knew he had to get back to the land that was promised to him. Okay, it says that Abraham said unto him, be aware that thou bring not my son thither again. Yahuwah Adonai heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kinfolks, and which spake unto me, and that swore unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land, and he shall send his angels before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. See, Jacob knew he had to leave his father's house for a certain period of time because Esau hated him because of the blessing. But he also knew that Jacob also knew that I had to get back to where I was supposed to be. I had to get back to a place where my kinfolks belong, where my kinfolks at. That's what Jacob was saying. I'm with Laban right now, but I'm supposed to be with Laban. But I'm going to serve Laban while I'm here, but I got to get out of Laban's household. Now let us go to Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. I just read that. Listen to this. It says again, and behold, I am with thee and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken of thee. See, Jacob had to leave and come back. Jacob had to leave and come back. Jacob left because of hatred, but he had to come back because of the promise. That's why Jacob had to come back. Okay? So now let us go to verse 31, because now Jacob's understanding why he had to leave Laban. Jacob knew why he said, I don't got my wives, I don't got my wife concubines, I don't got them all pregnant. I got the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm ready to go. It's time for me to get out of there. My mission is accomplished right here in this place here. It's time for me to go. Then it says in verse 31, and he said, what shall I give thee? Laban is saying, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will feed again. I will again feed and keep thy flock. Jacob said, just let me go and I will continue to do what I need to do for you. But I'm going to be taking care of myself as well. Because that was his whole objective, is to take care of himself. But Jacob couldn't take care of himself being up under Laban's authority. Jacob couldn't take care of himself being up under Laban's rule and regulations, jurisdictions, and power. Right? He said, I will go through all thy flocks today, removing thence all the speckled and the spotted cattle. The spotted cattle and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and the speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hires. So what Jacob is saying is, okay, we got all these cattle out in the field. I'm just gonna get the spotted speckles, the spotted calves and goats, and the speckles calves and goats, because I feel like that's what I deserve. Just let me get something that I think I can use for my benefit, and I can get out of here. Because I don't served you long enough. You don't benefit off me long enough. It's time for me to go. Let me just leave. That's what Jacob is saying. Let's separate. Let's separate the goods and let me leave, because I don't want to be here no more. It's time for me to go back to my own people, because you have benefited enough off of me. Okay. Then it says in verse 33. No, I jumped. I mean, it's 25, 26. I mean, let's go to verse 26. I'm sorry.
You back in 30.
Yeah, I'm back in 30. Let's go back. Let's start over. And it came to pass, in verse 25, and when it came to pass, Rachel had born Joseph, and Jacob said unto Laban, send me away that I may go into my own place, into my own country. This is what Jacob is asking for. Give me my wives and my children, from whom I have served thee. He said, I have committed 20 years to thee. Let me leave. I have served you. Let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done. Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I found favor in thy eyes, tarry, for I have learned by my experience that Yahuwah has blessed me for your sake. Listen to that. Laban's reality is that he know the only way that he's living the way he's living is because of Jacob. Have the United States and all the countries around the world said the reason why we got air conditions in our homes and our cars and our trucks is because of black people. Are they saying the reason why we got the correct medicine because of African American people? Are they saying the reason why we got GPS because of African American people? Are they saying that all these inventions that we have created, the elevator, the transmission, the process on how to do things, are they saying any of those things?
Selling and reaping benefit.
They are not appreciating the fact that we helped them create the civilization that we have helped them create. But Laban acknowledged it. Laban's acknowledged it because he said, Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thy eyes, wait, for I have learned by my experience that Yahuwah has blessed me for your sake. Laban understood Jacob's power. The United States understand the inventions, but it's a difference. Laban know the power of Jacob. The United States understand the power of African American people. But the difference is Laban said, I have learned by my experiences, not the United States. Okay. And in verse 28, and he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. He said, tell me what you want, man. I give it to you. I just don't want you to leave. Tell me whatever it is you want me to give you, and I will give it to you. Whatever it is, I don't mind giving it to you. Mm-hmm. And Jacob said unto Laban, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. Jacob said, man, I don't labor for you day and night. I don't took care of you. I don't increase your fold. I married your daughters. I have gave you offsprings. I did all these things for you. I just want to go back to my own people now. I don't did my time with you. I'm just ready to go. Because of what you've done. I'm ready to go. In verse 30 it says, For it was little which thou had before I came. Listen to this. This is the acknowledgement of Jacob knowing the situation, Laban knowing the situation. And it says, and he said, For it was little which thou had before I came, and now increase unto a multitude. And Yahuwah has blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for my own house also? That's what Jacob wanted to do. He wanted to provide for his own family. He wanted to be in his own land, be around his own people, and provide for his own household. Because he understood what was going on between him and Laban. He understood that Laban really didn't like him. He understood that Laban wanted to use him. He understood that Laban wanted to keep him oppressed so that he can continue to live off of him. He understood that. And Jacob was tired of it. Jacob was tired of living up under Laban. Let me read you a number. In the Asian community, the average household or the average wage for an Asian in America, not all, but some, I'm just gonna say the average household in the Asian community in the United States is $98,000. The Asian businesses in the United States have made over $1.2 trillion in gross revenues. They money circulate in their community 28 days. The Jewish people are the richest people in the world because they control everything. They control your food, your entertainment, your sportings, your education, they control the judicial system, they control the movies, they control televisions, they control everything that exists today. They are the richest people in the world, and their money circulate 27 days or 28 days in their community. Europeans, the average household European makes $76,000, and their money circulate 17 days in their community. Hispanics make more than $56,000 average in their households. Their businesses generate over $730 billion in gross revenue. It came up from 572 billion to now $730 billion in gross revenue when it comes to business. Okay. Blacks, the average financial household average in America is $43,000. And our black businesses generate only $211 billion in gross revenue. And our dollar circulates in our community 6 hours. The Hispanics, their money circulate in their communities, I say from 4 to 6 days.
But we were the inventors of all this stuff. Yeah.
But we was the inventors of everything that we see today. But we're the lowest on every towing pole. But you're blessed. Because the simple fact is you had the abilities to create, you had the strength to endure, you understood your strength, you understood your weaknesses, you had all these things. But the simple fact is, we are not following the laws, statutes, and commandments. See, what Jack said is, I got to get back to my Lord, I got to get back to my Creator, and I got to get back to my people in order for us to be successful. In order for me to be successful and prosper, I got to get back to my people. I got to get out of here. I can't stay up under Laban's oppression. Let us go to Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. It says this: a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of a sinner lays up for the just. See, and this is what I be trying to. When I see these people on TikTok talking about men should go 100 and women shouldn't have to pay 50-50, right? I asked myself the question is, what is the objective of a woman being married to a man? What is that woman's objective? Is she just trying to live off the man scot free so that she can portray an image as if she's got it going on? Or is she trying to leave an inheritance for her children's children? Or is she just trying to live her life and show other people that she's living a good life by living off other people? And it can go the same way for men. What is the main objective of you getting with a woman, or what is the objective is you getting with a man? And if you, especially if you're going to procreate, are you trying to set an objectives and strategies so that you can leave an inheritance for your children's children? Or are you just trying to live out the man so that you can show the whole world that you having a good life? Because if you are trying to live an inheritance for your children, that means that you and that man need to go 100 and invest and do all these things and come together to generate income so that you can leave inheritance for your family. But if you just came to get there to be able to just live off the man, just to show the world that you living good and you living off your husband, or your husband living off the wife, you're going against the spirit of the Most High. If you're not there to work together with your mate, you're not there. You're really going against the Most High, because it's a husband and wife in nails and um those nail salons, Asian nail salons. These Asians are working together in these stores because the husband is working with the wife and the wife is working with the husband. And the children are working in these stores because Rick Child, who deleted that young man in South Carolina, the husband, the wife, and the sons working in the stores together because they understood that they need to leave an inheritance for their children's children. Let us go to 2 Corinthians 12 and 14. It says, "Behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be burdensome to you, for I seek not yours, but you." See, he's talking about, I don't want what you have to give me physically. I want your spirit. I want you to commit to Christ spiritually. He said, I don't want your physical, tangible things. I want your spiritual life to go be transformed. He says, "For the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children." See, the life that we see today, parents are living off of the children instead of the children living off of the parents. That's why these parents don't want their kids to go to a predominantly HBCU because they feel like they won't get the NIL money. But the parents want the kids to go to a PWI so that the children can get the NIL money so that the parents can live off the NIL money from the children. Because it's one female in Texas Tech. She's a pitcher. She's an African American Hebrew. So she makes $1 million for just playing softball. Do you think that you don't think that she's giving some of that money back to her parents? Because she is making $1 million off the school at Texas Tech. But the parents shouldn't be living off the kid, but the kids should be living off the parent. But that's the way it should be, and that's what Jacob was trying to do. He was trying to make a way so that he can provide for his children's children. But Laban didn't want him to leave because Laban didn't want him to provide for his children's children. Because Laban was being able to provide off him because he was providing for his children's children. See, we got the game twisted. We got blessed skills and abilities, but our logic in the way we do things is so out of order. We love spending money, but we don't understand what money is for. That's why they call it currency. It's energy, it's spirits. It's for transactional purposes to create more of what you're doing. It's not, it's the currency of money is only for a small portion for entertainment. Money is made to generate more money. That's what money is for. It's to generate more money. Pleasure comes from other things. Let us go to 1 Timothy 5 and 8. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. See, the African American community is worse than an infidel because we're not even trying to provide for our own. We're not even trying to do for our own. We're such in a selfish state of mind right now. We can't provide for not even for our own self, let alone provide for other people. And we cannot try to provide for other people because we just so self-centered with them trying to provide for us. This is what I want for me. This is what I want for me. This is what I want for me. I don't care about nobody else. But every other nationality understand it. Let me tell you what the word racist means, okay? The word racist means this. Race is a people descended from a common ancestor. That's what race or ethnicity means, right? Ist, the word is, it means association with the common ancestor that you are with. Jacob was a racist because he wanted to be among his own people, doing his own thing with his own people, not with the Assyrians. He wanted to be around his own people, doing his own thing. Doesn't mean that he hated Laban. Doesn't mean he didn't want to work with Laban. But Jacob understood the importance of being around his own people. Because you're around your own people don't mean that you hate other people. You may discriminate, or you making hatred is something totally different. That's an emotional. But when it comes down to racist means that I associate with my nationality. So if you hear a European man say I'm racist, you can't be mad at him because he's associating himself with his ethnicity, his group of people. When a Chinese man says I love Chinese people, you can't get mad because he's associating himself with his race of people. You cannot get mad about that. Now, when it becomes a hateful, when you put the word hatred towards it, that's when it's different. But when you just say I'm a racist, no, I just love my people. That's all a racist means. But we have twisted the words to understand something. We gave it a negative. We gave it a definition that it isn't supposed to have. So when you say I'm anti-racist, that means that you're against your own self. But when you say I'm anti-hateful, hatred, I'm against hatredisms, or people who hate people. That's something different. Or if you say I'm against, you can't even say I hate people who are discrimination, because discrimination means that you just don't like certain things. Because I may not like chocolate ice cream, I'm discriminating against chocolate ice cream because I don't like it. That's discrimination. It means that I just don't like something. But hatred comes from a negative connotation. It means it's something totally different. But when you say I hate you, that's when you have issues. But you can't be mad when they say I'm a racist. I love my people. You can't be mad about that. But if they use it in a negative way, saying that I'm a racist and I hate you as whoever your ethnicity is, that's something different. Jacob wanted to be around his own people. He was a racist. He wanted to be with his own people doing his own thing, and Laban didn't want it because Jacob wanted to bless his own people. Let's go back to verse 31 in Genesis. See, they twist words on us and twist the definition so that they can get us all in an uproar about something. Because first thing they tell you, if you want to support your own people, oh, you're a racist. But they use that word in a negative connotation, which when we because we don't know the definition of words, we take that in a negative sense, but not ask the question of, well, what do you mean by that? Do you mean that are you saying that I hate you because I rather shout my own people first? Or what are you saying? I'm a racist because I'm supporting my people. What we're not asking the right questions. In verse 31, and he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, let me go back to my own people and take my family with me. I'll be all right. I will again. This also listen to this. He said, I will again feed and take thy flock. I will pass through all the flocks today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle and among the sheep, and the spotted and the speckled among the goats. Verse 33. So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time to come. Listen to that. So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time to come. When it shall come to pass for my hire before thy face, everyone that is not speckled or spotted among the goats and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. Jacob said, I can't have nothing solid. Anything solid color is supposed to be yours, but I get the spotted and the speckled. Okay? And Laban agreed with that, right? So let's go down a little bit. Verse 37. Because this is how Jacob increased his fold, because he was smart and intelligent. He understood how to be prosperous. Even in the midst of dealing with people amongst you, when Jacob was living amongst Laban, who really didn't like him, Jacob knew how to be creative. Verse 37. And Jacob took him rods of green pollard, and of the hazel and the chestnut tree, and peeled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rod. And he set the rod which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutter, in the watering trough, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. See, Jacob was so creative in his mind, he understood how to increase his fold. He knew how to make his flocks be strong and become plenteous, and to be able to be pregnant. He put a rod in the water so that when they drunk the water, it made them fertile, so that it could increase his fold. See, that's what we have done. We created all these inventions through our wisdom, but we forgot some other stuff that Jacob did. Then it says, and the flocks conceived before the rod, and brought forth cattle, green sprakes, speckles, and spots. Because of his inventions, his creativeness in his mind, he understood that I can use some tree bark and put it in the water, and when the animals drink the water from, because the tree bark is in the water, they'll become pregnant. And when they become pregnant, that means that I have more animals and livestock to live off of. That was the first impregnation pill. So Jacob said, understand, he said, I got all these, he said, I got 12 children, 4 wives. I got to feed all these people. Now I got to be creative on how I create my livestock. So he go get this bark, put it in some water, let the animals drink the water. They became pregnant and they conceived. But he didn't do it. But Jacob didn't do it for Laban animals. He only did it for his. And Jacob, listen, verse 40. And Jacob did separate the lambs and set the faces of the flock towards the ring stakes and all the brown in the flocks of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves and put them unto not unto Laban cattle. He separated, so he made sure that he took care of his own people. And it came to pass whensoever the strong cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rod before the eyes of the cattle in the gutter, and that they may conceive among the rod. And when the cattle was feeble, he put them not in. So the feeble was Laban's, and the strong was Jacob. And the man increased exceedingly and had much cattle and man servants and men servants and camel and asses. What am I saying? We're blessed because of our inventions and because of our creativity and because of the Most High anointed us to be blessed. Even the people around us are blessed because of the simple fact is the number that I just gave you. The Asians, the Hispanics, the Indians, the Europeans, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, all of them live around in our community and they feed off us. They're not just feeding off us monetarily, they're living off the inventions that we created. But the only difference is that the band understood it, and the people that we live around today don't. That's something, and that was the main reason why Jacob said, "I gotta go. I gotta go back to my own people," because he wanted to make sure that he took care of his own people first. Jacob wanted to take care of his own people and be around his own people, so that he can bless them. Think about that. In today's society and how we live in today, think about it. So that concludes the teaching for today. It's going to be another part one. But understand that one of the main reasons why Jacob wanted to leave is because he was living up under Laban and the hardship of Laban. And Jacob wanted to be around his own people and do his own thing with his own people because of the promise of the Most High gave to Abraham, Isaac, and he's fulfilling the promise. He wanted to get back to his own land and to his own people. Okay. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about Laban. Jacob wanted to leave because of the hardship of Laban. But now we're going to talk about Laban next week. All right. Fathers, we come to you today. But the title of the teachings, let's start. The title of the teachings today, you are blessed, Jacob. Look at all the inventions, the creation, everything that we did. Okay. Jacob wanted to be around his people. He wanted to be around his own homeland. And he wanted to be able to do some creations for himself so that he can be prosperous. The two words that I have is when you want to be self-reliant, you understand your powers, you understand your strength, you understand your weaknesses, you understand your capabilities. When you understand those things, that you can have prosperity because you know how to move within those realms. Okay. So, Father, as we come to you today, we thank you, we bless you, we give you all the praise and honor, Father. We thank you for everything you're doing, how you're doing it, the way you're doing it, Father. We just ask that you continue to be with us and guide us and lead us and cover us, and let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let your word not go out and come back void, Father. Continue to protect us, lead us, and guide us. But at the end of the day, not thy will, but your will. In your higher name we pray, so let it be.
Royalty, royalty. I was the chosen people. Bible in my hand, word inside my heart, and pain before my eyes. Royalty people wanting to believe in something, looking for a line, trying to find the truth. But we keep about saying we do say that we don't. Hearing people saying we do things that we won't. Moving sheets of clothing with cross and ships. Taking people money, promising to be blessed. Out to the chosen people. Who at one point wasn't good as people. Here's some chosen people. Royal priests. That you've been called out of the dark. Once we were the people, how we are the people. You know, we are see, royalty, royalty, royal, royalty, royalty. Kings and queens, royal, royal, see, would you let them cover your those things if you knew you were a queen? And my brother, would there be out there it's in your life a great people? If you knew you had it all already, if you knew you were a queen. Well, the best I got over is to tell you the truth. Mercy changed everything from me and you. They don't really tell us what we do need to know. First Peter 2 and 6, pleasure for sure. So power to the those and the people who at one point wasn't as a Negro. His own struggle and people, royal priesthood. That you were all down, all down. Once we were the people, she made us see how we are the people. Oh, we love see, see, royalty, 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 kings and queens, royalty. Look at yourself, take your time, baby, you royalty. Show, come back home, brother, you royalty. Out to the chosen. What am I going to do this week? It's our chosen people, royal priesthood. Royalty, 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 royalty. See, I was in the chosen people. When one boy wasn't used as people, his own chosen people, royal priesthood.
Hey, y'all have a blessed one. Shalom, 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 Shabbat, shalom. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.